Let's go. Good day, good day, good day. Hello, gang. Hopefully everyone's having a fantastic day. If not, I hope it improves. Right, so let me just share our live stream with the gang. We are fixing bugs, because we are close to being able to run this. Sorry, we're close to hitting a milestone, which means we have to get this working in Linux. On close and adding stuff, adding features. I couldn't think of a good title today. So I kind of went with the most generic title, fixing crashes and adding features, which is basically what I do every day. So yeah, I do have something really exciting to show, but I might wait until people turn up. We are rocking and rolling today, I have to admit. I have done work off stream like I usually do. Let's start this. I always forget to set this up to have development time. Let's bring up the chat. Top stuff. We're ready to go. Okay. Well, yes, I had not a breakthrough, I guess, but I've made a couple of things that I've done over the past few days, maybe a week, have all like come together and coalesced, and we have made all that progress kind of came together today, which was nice. Now I'm not sure if I should talk about it immediately, so maybe, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sneak in. You know what? Screw it. You know, people might watch this in the future, so yeah, let's dig it right into it. So, assuming that I haven't broke anything just before I started streaming, which has happened, we now have debug rendering spheres that actually represent the geometry. And if you look at this doc, boom, there has been collisions with these spheres that I've actually managed to render. So there's no gravity. This is why this dock is like spinning, and it will just keep spinning. But yeah, this is really cool. We have different spheres that can collide into each other, and these are dynamic bodies, so they update with you know, with forces. I can turn off the debug rendering, so I can actually see what that actually looks like in game. Now, as you can see, there is like... So what's cool about this, if I just restart the engine, and let's just say I don't know, start with debugging, and I see this stuff coming in, and I'm like, okay, we have two solid objects here, and it collides. Oh, why didn't that hit the rock? What? Now I can see why. Because these spheres actually represent the actual geometry, which is really, really cool. So the spheres obviously don't fit the rocks extremely well, but at least now I can see what's going on. So that duck, in theory, goes off infinitely in this direction at a very slow speed. Eventually the bodies will go to sleep, thank goodness. So there is some kind of sleeping mechanism here, so this won't forever slow down the physics system. The benefit of this is I can actually start making a game. I know it seems funny, but before I had this set up, I couldn't see any of the collision geometry, which meant when I you know, added some collision geometry to the scene, I couldn't actually see where things would hit. So we only have spheres right now, and I might make them wireframe. It doesn't really matter, but the wireframe model of the spheres looks horrendous, admittedly, because they are just loaded from disk. Now, obviously, there is a lot. The collision geometry gets a lot more complicated than this. Now, spheres are the simplest 3D object to collide with. That are both 3D. I think points are simpler than just sphere versus sphere, but spheres are as simple as it gets. But yeah, it's a really nice coalition of things that have happened. So I can actually start adding lose conditions, and then I've got a game. If I have a lose condition, well, technically walking simulators don't have lose conditions, so this is technically a game. But you know, eventually these rocks will not be they will be solid rather than not solid. There's probably a better word for that. So yeah, it's really nice. Because the other thing about this, now I could add like all the collision geometry types and kind of add debug rendering to them all, but this is simple enough. Sorry, this is what's the correct word? This is good enough to have a basic tech demo / game tied to it. At the moment, right? Like I could make this into something, and you know, put it online for free, because I can't imagine anyone want to pay for this at all, and I don't think it's worth paying for. You know, a very simple game, but it is so I'm kind of tempted to. I'm not really entirely sure. Hang on, this is really loud for me. My ears are getting cooked. Okay, that's better. I was like shouting over the music to hear myself. I apologize. Apologies for that. The next step, honestly, is a bit up in the air. Like, what do we end up doing after this? Is there how, like, I could make this more complicated. I could make I could do this and that to it. I could the thing that this doesn't have at the moment, which my older engine does, is threading. So everything is done in sequence. The physics engine is threaded, but that's not my physics engine. When it comes to everything else, it's not threaded. Everything's like recorded to the command buffer, from top to bottom in sequence. But it's kind of like, okay, I could make this all threaded or whatever, but like, you know, for the game I want to make, is that overkill? So there is like a question of what I end up doing today and for the, you know, following days, because I was so locked in on this particular issue that I'm not entirely sure exactly what I should be doing. So that should I be adding more collision geometry so the debug renderer can render it? Should I fix the skybox first? You know, the skybox is still broken. This doesn't work. So today it's kind of going to be like, I think the first thing I want to fix is the crash on close. So this is all well and good, but then this happens, and oops, I did not mean to do that. So we're going to be debugging the crash on close today. I've been putting it off, and it is to do with for some reason VMA, the Vulkan memory allocator library, header library that I've used for allocations, is complaining about something. Allocations were not freed before destruction. So we've got some unfreed buffers basically, and I think that's pretty straightforward to fix. There are other issues on top of that. There are every time I try to destroy the physics the physics, it errors out too. So Yes, we're going to be doing that too. And yeah, I might even just like throw in some obviously in this game I wouldn't release it with it being in silence. I would add my old well, not completely, but I would add my my audio code that I did. I don't think we need any animations. It is not entirely sure. It's really cool the way this works, which I'm very happy about. Yeah, so it is a bit of a question of what we end up doing. I wonder if this would be... I was thinking axis aligned bounded boxes are typically better at surrounding objects, but it's almost like these are so close to being a sphere that anyway that the sphere itself is accurate. I don't really care about I don't really care about the inaccurate of the collision detection yet. Especially because I think I'm just gonna like force the player to move forward all the time and just kind of have them navigate the world. The only problem is if you go upside down, it's not really clear why right and left have all of a sudden turned. It gets a bit confusing. It's like why is left and right and why is right left and left right? Like I need to like. Anyway, so there's a lot of yeah, it's like taking me out of the game engine development flow because I'm like, okay, when should I stop and when should I start making the game after this? Which is, yeah, exciting. It's exciting, but also a bit nerve-wracking as well. Because there's a lot of things I want to add to this game and release it, and then make another one, and then release it, and then make another one and release it, kind of thing. That's the goal. Yes. So we shall be debugging on close. So let's start then. Let's actually start what we end up doing. Yeah. Sorry, I was excited to show people. Because it was a pain in the neck to get this far. Right, so let's just see where we end up on the call stack. When we close, what I might do is just... No, I won't do that actually. I was gonna turn this loop into a false so it'd be faster to debug, but I think that ends up having its own issues. Assertion failed. Some allocations were not found. Okay, so this is a bug with some kind of buffer. So I think it's when I create the entities in the scene. And as you can see last time, we ended up with a way to build solid entities and a way to build non-solid entities, so we can actually have two different types in the game engine, so we don't slow down the collision detection. The what is it called? Oh, there's so many things I want to add. Like I don't even have view frostum culling on objects. Like there's so many things I can like think about adding. Now I've got past this little step. Okay, so no, I don't think I have, and I'm not exactly sure where we're up to. I'm just going to make sure I'm doing this. This might be a big thing that I'm not doing. This might be a very simple... Oh, yeah. You haven't done the shutdown, dude. I just need to find out which buffers I haven't destroyed and then destroy them. So there should be scene.shutdown somewhere. No, I don't think it exists. Right, okay, so we want to do it before the... okay, so scene, shut down scene. Let's just make sure we don't have that twice. We need the GPU and the physics. Okay. Do you have unfree buffers like... oh, GPU buffers. I have a way to destroy buffers that are GPU related, that I stick them on a queue and then they get destroyed later, like at the end when I call shut down GPU, then they go into their free destroy everything, which is, where is the actual... yeah, this is, I think this is it, yeah, where you actually do this shutting destruction. So that's the stuff like that I've missed. So that goes through the queue and just pops them off as you go. And this is also done at the end of the frame if you delete like a buffer at runtime here. So that's the, you know, you just go reverse order of things added. So that's a queue idea. Anyway, so we'll start with shutting down the actual scene properly. So at least the things we've created. Okay, that's good. So we've either made less progress or more progress. A different error is always progress, but I can't tell if... interesting, so what I might do actually is look at the Hello World program in Jolt, because that's the Jolt physics engine dying on me, and just see how it cleans up itself in the Hello World program. Because I think it's very simple. You remove a body, you then unregister types, and then delete the instance. So, oh, I didn't even read the error. Let's read the error. How you doing today, Ratchet? Oops, wrong project. How you doing today, Ratchet, by the way? I didn't ask. How rude. Alright. So scene shut down. S delete body, yes. Where are we? Destroy body. If you name buffers with VKKHR debug utils, the utility, the validation will tell you which buffer you forgot to destroy, or any other buffer or any other Vulkan object. Oh, that's. I wonder if I've done that in debug utils, but I didn't know that was the connection. I think I've not ever made that connection before with the name of the creation. When you do a creation struct, there is a possibility that I haven't named every object that I've created, unaware that that was part of the point of creating that custom what is it called, custom print function. So yeah, give me 1 minute. I just gotta take off my headphones. Yeah, just it's getting a bit hot already. The validation layers track all objects, but it's hard to know which object is which without a name. Yes, I think I've seen that before. It's like, it's basically just I think, you know what I always struggle with, which I might just like try and work in at some point, or maybe now. Can you do it with VK images? Because that's something, when I've missed a destruction, that is often like the confusing thing that I struggle with. Like I end up like, it goes VK image was not destroyed. I'm like, what VK image is this? You name every single object just in case. It's probably a really good idea to keep track. I don't doubt it. Any VK object, right? Okay, yeah. So literally anything, which includes VK image. So we have a issue. Now I'm just going to delete this just for a minute, just to see if removing bodies from the scene and then they need to be all done together or what. I just want to see if removing works. Okay, so yes. I say yes, but look, where are we in the call stack? Shut down. Oh, descriptor set. What? Okay, so we failed to. Let me see the Hello World program anyway. I'll come back to that. So as far as I'm aware, this is what you're supposed to do. VK set debug utils object name extension is my best friend. Set. I don't. Off the top of my head, I'll have to have a look in a minute with my debug. But it is a really good. Yeah, I think it will. If I implement what you've just described, I think it will improve my development time for sure. But my first thing is like, why does this fail with destroy object? Unless the entity themselves. Hang on. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna put this in release. That's something I haven't done in ages. Yeah, because this could break. I haven't actually tested. I could have got like a dangling pointer with a large stack frame or something. I haven't actually done release. Hello, how you doing, dude? Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, not bad. A little hot, but we made a load of progress while I haven't been here. Sorry. Oh my goodness, I've compiled the wrong project. I need to put this in release. There we go. So yeah, I'll if this works, I might show you guys briefly. I don't know if you were here right at the beginning. But we are working on shutdown. Crashes on shutdown. Getting better every day. That's it, man. That's how you. I love that. I love to hear that. I'm glad you're getting better every day. Glad that's what we're here for. Yeah. So just compiling the release version. In theory, there shouldn't be anything wrong, but we shall see if I've made a mistake. Let's release only, because that'll be more important than fixing a crash on close. I almost I don't know how well today is going to go. We might end up switching to Linux if I have literally nothing to do. Found an effective study of mine. Found effective study of mine. Yeah, nice. That's it. It's a large part of it is, well, a large part of it. A good part of it is, yeah, starting to study, having a system, and then just executing on it every day. Yeah. So let's have a look. Once we've compiled, yeah, compilation times are still a little slow, but yeah, this is. I mean, I bet I'm happy with it, but what I'll end up doing, I think, in the future is pulling stuff out that I don't need, just to make everything smaller. But that's like because the incremental builds are decent nowadays. Like, I don't really need to worry about that too much yet. But anyway, is island? Oh, I just read island is island. is island? There we go. Is land. Just waiting for the compilation. Yeah, and I get to show you what I've been up to, which is really sick. Do you not have multi-threading compilation in Visual Studios? I literally forgot that existed. Yeah, the reason I've been rolling without multi-threaded compilation is literally because in work we had Visual Studio's 2013, and compiling with multiple threads was slower because the memory access was so bad. Like, okay, cool. Anyway, so we have objects that correctly represent the sphere. Spheres like, so I'm correctly rendering objects. Sorry, the debug, the scene. So that's really nice. So I don't know if you saw that earlier on, and I can obviously turn it off. That's not hard to do. So you might be like, now I can be like, oh, why is the duck not colliding with the rock? That's why, because the geometry is much bigger than you think. There we go. Very nice, very nice. Yes, you definitely will have faster compilation times. I completely forgot about it because, like I said, I've been, I don't know, conditioned, if that's the right word, to assume that single-threaded compilation is better because of memory access. But it's probably a really bad idea too. Not a really bad idea, but I could do myself a favor in just reducing, compiling things with threads instead. But wait a minute. Sorry, let me just run that again. Oh, I guess it's gonna throw exceptions. I don't know if I clicked the square, which is fine. Yeah, this is just the errors in release kind of getting triggered. Nice. Okay, so release does run, but it doesn't work on close. So make J go. Yeah, just spam the threads. So you asked. I suggest you use Windows 10 and Linux with dual boot. It's very helpful. Yes. I do have Linux, and we will go. The thing is with Linux is when I say we might go to Linux, what might happen in the stream is I might literally end the stream and start it up again, but on Linux. Yes, some people will drop off. That we're sitting around. That we're sitting and watching, but I might, because I need to sometimes debug on Linux. I'll just do it. I'm not really here to. Sorry, it's more important to me that what is going. Oh yeah, okay. It's more important to me that I'm doing what I need to rather than worrying about YouTube stuff. If that makes sense. Like if I'm sitting here thinking, oh no, people will unsubscribe if I go on Linux instead, or something like that. Then, yeah, that is a recipe for a bad time. Okay, so I think I have a destructor here, or do I? Huh? Unregistered types. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was super confused for a minute. Yeah, I use CMake to make my make files, and then basically do what you do on Linux. I just type make clean, make all, and I should do make all thread. I think it is J. At least make it fast. Not that it's not too super long. The other thing I'm concerned about is the fact that I watched. Sorry, it's gone a bit because I'm in a bit of a situation right now where I need to think about what I'm going to do next quite carefully. So I watched a talk. This talk I've watched just before the stream. It's an old talk. It's from 2000 it was made in 2012, as you can see by like the bottom here, 2012, and it's about like how your game should drive the game engine development. This is a really good video to set. It's not like you won't learn anything from it in the sense that there's nothing like technical in it. It's just like advice. It's basically make the game, and the engine will write itself almost when you're writing stuff from scratch. Obviously, it's not like that, but it's like if you're going to make a game that's going to have if you're going to make a game engine that's going to run a game, then you need to be like the game itself needs to drive the decisions. So right now, for example, get rid of this. And my rendering code is single threaded. Like, it's by design. Like, I put each graphics pipeline on one on top of each other, and I just kind of recorded them to a giant command buffer, rather than like having these individually set up in threads or whatever. So it's kind of like, if I want to make a tiny little space game and publish it on the internet for free, should I spend the time re-implementing my threading system that I did and spend months on that? I don't know. It's so there's a lot of like and ahhing at the moment. I don't exactly know what I should be doing after this, because in theory, I think I talked about this earlier, but I'm going to talk about it again. It helps me think. I could make a little space game out of spheres, right? You know, if I just, it wouldn't be very good, I don't think. But it would be something, and then I could improve it. So I'm not entirely sure the direction of things right now. I don't know what I should do first. Yeah, the other thing is like, do I want to make indirect draw calls? Do I want to do view frostum culling? Do I want to do, in the long term, yes, obviously to all these things, but it's like, do I do them now? Is the question, more than when. It's like, when do I do them rather than if I do them. Skybox needs to be fixed, but yeah, crash on close so I can get up to a baseline and send this up to Linux and have a better day. Have a more sophisticated engine, or whatever. I don't know. Sophisticated is the right word. Why would you do that in the age of GPU-driven rendering? This is one of those Vulkan 1.0 2016 era bad advice. Is it really that bad? I don't know. I don't really have. It's just I did it before. If you check out the Air engine, sorry to be so distracted, but we will get back to our scheduled debugging. Why have I left that there? And I'll just do this so you can see it. It's going to be a bit of a memory to try and do this. We have an asynchronous loader, which reserves a thread, and I think the way I want to do this, give me a minute, is, where do I do my threading? So I set up a thread scheduler, and then I have jobs that are set onto a queue that record to a command buffer. I can't exactly remember where it is off the top of my head, but effectively it's in here somewhere. Yeah, we have SPRV reflection as well, so that's like something I've kind of decided for now not to have. Based on the chat, I think your advice specifically, Ratchet, and someone else's, the shader, the uniform buffer objects, when I'm going to full bindless, the graphics pipeline creation is so much simpler than it normally is. Anyway, so there is a where is this rendering? No, I got rid of that. I can't remember. Really, I was about to go on a long streak of work to do full multi-threaded engine with parallel recorded command buffers and all. Is command buffer a bottleneck for you? No. Just the recording part. Then why make a complicated sync at cost? Oh, it has cost. Sorry. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's like, is it that bad? I don't know. It's where's my book? When I was reading this was in. When I learned to do this, I was doing this last year, and this was from a book using Vulkan 1.2 in 2023. And it was more not the threading system is a good idea for non recorded stuff as well. You know, like being able to submit assets in a thread, so you don't slow down the main thread. I wanted to use exclusive compute and transfer queues. Would you have a single transfer queue and a compute queue? Would that be more all on the main thread? I'm really a beginner on this side of the spectrum. I think it depends. Let me think. I don't know if you're asking me or chat in general, but so queue submission is not cheap on yes. So this is the thing, right? So Anna Cleote, this is what I was talking about just before I came on the while I was rewatching this lecture, and it was kind of like, yes, threading command buffers or whatever might be a bad idea. That was beside the point, to be honest. Let's just say it isn't for a minute, just for the point. My original issue is, do I even need threading at the moment, right? Because if you're making a game engine and you want to make Frogger, for example, then do you need to do any of this anyway? It depends. That's why I say it depends. Like immediately, that's what comes to mind. Like, what are you trying to do, and why, and for what reason? If you have a game design idea or I don't know what you're building a renderer for, but a renderer that's going to do a thing, does it necessarily need it? And if it doesn't, then you can cut it and save yourself time. So yeah, it's one of those things like the aim, yeah. It's scope. So if you wanted exclusive compute, like I did, like I had compute and transfers, and I was able to switch between them based on, so like for example, I was able to have like a compute transfer and graphics queue all running in parallel on the GPU, and then I would just like sync between them based on what they needed. I think I was using render passes to do this but anyway, like the graphics work that I was the compute work that I was doing was like simulating a cloth, and I was also rendering with that. I was doing the computing the lighting as well. But I feel like the latter, where I was talking about doing the physics for the cloth physics example, like I didn't need cloth physics in the thing that I wanted to make, and I kind of just did it just because I followed a tutorial effectively and read a book and like studied it just because I thought that was a good idea. And I'm really starting to like think more about the game itself that I want to make, and letting the game design, I guess, kind of trickle down into what I actually need, like technology wise. It would be nice again to have all these features. So for you, I think it's also a good idea to think about what you need in your renderer. Hopefully that's like a good idea. It's just some general advice. There's no right answer when it comes to engineering. It's like, what is the, it's like, what screwdriver do I need? It's like, depends on the screw, right? That's effectively what it's coming down to. So, you could have the best flathead screwdriver, but if it's a Phillips, then you're screwed. Dude, I'm a big fan of Vulkan. Nice, and I tried to study it. Also, it takes a lot of time. Right now, I'm a third year BTech. Oh, you're in your third year BTech. Nice. So, do you think that anyone can get a job in Vulkan in 1 year? In Vulkan in 1 year. That is dependent on, one, your country, and two, I know it's controversial to say this, I think, nepotism. Like, if you know someone in the industry, you could probably get there in like 3 months. And it also depends on the field that you want to enter. For example, it's easier to become a graphics programmer in a field that isn't games. So it's a very wide open question based on a lot of different factors, and even if you told me all those things, I wouldn't be able to know exactly. I would say, for me personally, when it comes to jobs or whatever, I think the best thing you can do is concentrate on what you can control rather than what you can't control. Can you get a job? I don't know. But can you become a really good graphics programmer? Yes, that's certain. So that's what I would focus on if I was you, but that's just me, right? Yeah, no problem. You don't have to be here all the time. You can leave whenever. I think I come from a less problematic side. I kind of just want to play with exclusive. Yes, okay, go for it. Then I would do procedural terrain as sort of a benchmark. Perfect. Then 100% go for it, dude. You can even do. I would also ask. Right, I'm not always the expert to ask. I'm often learning Vulkan like everyone else. People are saying like, how do I learn Vulkan and all that kind of stuff. Like, a lot of what I'm saying, advice and stuff, is like I'm also taking my own advice, right? A great place to ask is to go into like one of these two Discords, I think, Vulkan or graphics programming, and ask what's the most up-to-date meta when it comes to threading, when it comes to exclusive queues, etc. I am studying this stuff, so you can ask me at any point, but I won't always have the answers. Effectively, that's what I'm saying. Anyway, so yeah, let's dive into debugging. Hopefully that was a decent aside, and everyone's not thinking about stuff and gonna be like, "You're an idiot." I can post them in the Discord. I think they're in the resources already. No. I think Ratchet posted these yonks ago, but they might be expired. So what I'll do is, for our sake, can I just make... Oh, hang on, I've got to do it on my laptop. Because I'm streaming on my computer, this makes it... Sometimes the invites don't work. For some reason. I don't understand it. So I'll throw these in. Give me a minute, and I could throw it in the chat as well. So this is the Vulkan Discord server. I think Ratchet has told me that he's had more success in the graphics programming Discord server. But I'll throw these in. Just give me a minute, gang. Almost done. And you can join these guys and ask questions there too. Oops. Okay, so the first one is, I should have said something about that. Graphics and Vulkan. So there we go. Okay. I don't know how long those invites will work, but feel free. Obviously, you're more than welcome to ask questions here, etc. Just I won't always have the answers. Anyway. So you are an indie developer, or do you have a job? What do you do to money? Because it's the most important thing. Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. I'm currently just streaming until I find a job. I was employed but got laid off. As a C++ developer working in the EDA industry, which was very fun. The company just didn't do very well for multiple years and then laid off a load of people. So I'm going through rounds of interviews at the moment. They take time though. So until the days I can't do anything. Okay, so. And yeah, just to finish up what I was saying about me learning and stuff. That's why I'm always welcome to criticism. If you know something that I don't, or have a suggestion, you can always just say like, "Oh, escape point, why are you doing this?" or "What's this for?" or something like that. And I'm always open to thinking. I will have to think about what you're saying. I'm not going to immediately jump on and rewrite everything that anyone suggests, but I am welcome to. I will think about your saying very seriously and try to make the best engineering decision based on suggestions as well. Cool. Right. Okay. So we are ready to continue debugging. When it comes to closing and. Oh yeah, I need to delete the. So for some reason, the physics interface doesn't like this, and I don't know why. I wonder if we have bodies. And we have a lock. Yes. Where's this? I think this error is like really deep. Sphere shape delete. Why are you causing an error? Is this the same error? Yeah, destroy bodies. Okay. Now delete override. Yes, we're using the defaults delete and new. I don't think there's any allocator here. But what is this? Free. So at the times in 2020, 2015 and 16, being able to multi-thread draw calls recorded looked like the best possible thing to do. But now in Vulkan /DirectX 12, draw calls are pretty cheap to record since there isn't much validation to do. There isn't much validation to do in the driver. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I definitely want to move to GPU driven, do indirect draw calls, have the, like I did with the other render I wrote, the one that did the meshlet culling and all that actually used like multi indirect draw call count calls, and you are right, you end up with less draw calls because the shaders basically pass buffers to each other. You set up a barrier, you do a compute shader, you set up another barrier, then you pass that buffer that you've read out to another shader, and then you kind of keep going. So you are right. I should. Thanks for bringing it up. By the way, Ratchet. It is nice to have my. It's not challenge, but let me actually make me think of the best engineering decision. Cool. Right. Okay. Let's move on. So why is Maybe I need to delete the shape or something. Like, I have the shape exists here, but that's going to be destroyed as part of the destructor. That's pretty fast. GPU wise. Yeah, it's pretty good overall, yeah. I actually don't know what mine would be in comparison. I don't think I've ever tried to render Bistro. But yeah, it's you've also got like ray tracing and skyboxes and all sorts of lovely effects and things like that. It's so I understand like it's not just you're not just rendering Bistro with like just colors or something like that. Yeah, Ratchet's Ratchet's input's always welcome with this kind of stuff. Yeah, I will get cracked at some point, but I did struggle with this for a bit. For example, when I think it was last year, I kind of stopped making. I didn't really enjoy my YouTube channel. I was kind of like, ugh, kind of didn't want to do anything with it because I just felt like an imposter. But then I was just like, I just need to be honest. I don't have all the answers. Like, maybe I can do stuff that's cool that other people can't, but that doesn't mean like I'm an expert in everything. Why? Okay, I need to see the call stack. Again, sorry, I keep looking at this and just kind of being confused. New delete. Free implements. Have I done something wrong with the allocation? Hello. Hi Nox Mantic. How you doing? Are you having a good day? I hope you are. So release. We're just I'm just trying to debug some destroy on close stuff. Yeah, you're doing good. I'm happy. Yeah, good stuff. So we might be looking at the call stack down here a lot. Yes, yeah. 12 millisecond. Well, you know, I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, I've seen your renderer looks nice to me. But I probably won't use. Yeah, I probably won't use the anti-aliasing. I kind of don't, and it's this might be a not controversial, but okay. So delete. So this definitely is calling the destructor body. Then I am. What is this then? Null. If it's equal to null. Oh, okay. So this is actually the issue. Motion properties is equal to null. Yeah, there's just tons of other stuff that gets in the way. I don't really care for anti-aliasing. I don't really care about aliasing artifacts at all. So that's a lower priority for me personally. Oh yeah, nice. So you got two different anti-aliasing techniques fallback. There's a couple of things I don't like graphics wise that I sometimes some screen space reflection stuff looks bad. I'd rather have a crisp image than a slightly blurry, which I'm saying slightly so to give it some kind of cadence, you know, at full resolution without any aliasing. I just grew up with the PlayStation 1 and it was fine. Like I was like, no, it's so pixely, it's terrible. Remove internal, but I think that's just a preference thing. And motion blur, I've never liked motion blur except for in driving games. Ah, appreciate that. Thanks for visiting my repo, yeah? You don't like screen space reflection either? Yeah. It looks good sometimes, and it sometimes completely falls apart, and it's like, meh. But if I mention anti-aliasing anymore, Threat Interactive will pop into the stream or something. All jokes, all jokes. Right. Right, why is this null? I don't understand. Right, let's I wonder if it's being removed. So, and it seems silly, but if we get the same error and this is like happening, I wonder if it's that's the issue. Nope. Okay. That clearly gives me a normal error, but motion type equals null. Oh no, it needs to be null. Oh, I'm getting confused with my bloody asserts here. Alright, let's try again. Re-implement. Why? What is the error? It says assert. Invalid address specified at da-da-da. Break debug was called, so it's not an error, it's assert. Is it asserting inside free? So there's a bunch of code. Uh-oh, yeah, Threat Interactive. Well, yeah, we won't mention his name anymore. It's he will come. It will come for you if you use DLSS. So you don't plan on release on Steam, like you made it open source? I will release on Steam anyway, even if it's open source. If people rip the assets, compile it, and then pirate it, then I know it seems funny to say this. I have bigger. That is a compliment almost. There's two things that have happened if that's happened. One, my game is big enough to even be pirated, which is a big, big W, right? The second thing is the price. It's likely the pricing is too big. It's like too much for some people. Like if someone lives in like Venezuela, and I've said the game costs 10 quid or something, or $10, and that to them is like super expensive, then they're gonna pirate it, right? So I think if I ever come to the point where people who are gamers that aren't that interested in coding, they just want to play the game, are pirating it, I probably should just worry about the pricing and just accept that pirating just happens no matter what I do anyway, assuming that the game's big enough to even be pirated, like I said. You won't get the assets as well, like that. Yes, the game is open source, but it's not like I'm giving away the assets as well. It's not that the whole game is free online. And also it's a lot of faff to set up everything, like a development environment, to actually start debugging. Like it's not something that typically most people will want to do if they just want to play a video game they think looks cool. So yeah, I'm not that worried about it being open source. It used to bother me, but it doesn't bother me anymore. Actually, I'm going to make RT support required to boot the thing now, by the way. BRB. Yep, no problem. See you, dude. Good luck with that, man. Is it for Android? No, it will just be on Linux and Windows. So I'm currently working with Debian-based Linux. And yeah, it should be on those two platforms. So it'll be a PC game exclusively. Hello, how you doing? Hope you're having a good day, my man. I'm just debugging stuff in the on close. So if you see me wondering what's going on, that's what's happening. Too lazy to write a shadow mapping fallback. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, why write one when you don't have to write the other? Why have a full? Yeah, you know what I meant. Is this your first game? It will be with this engine, but no, it will not be my first game. I have made a couple of games on my itch.io page. They're not very good, I have to admit. So I'm slowly getting better. So yeah, these are all my games that I've made. Some of them are just tech demos, some of them are games. And I've made more, like some stuff I haven't published. Most of these for later ones are for game demos. Some of them are not. Some of them don't work on people's computers. So I'm gonna make eventually better games. Yeah. You have a super productive day at work. Brilliant. I love that. You know what? Same here, dude. I've had some productive days so far. So yeah, it's been that's good for both of us. Happy to see a person without AI slot, by the way. Yeah, I love coding. I'm not going to outsource any of my programming to AI because I just love it too much. I'm doing this as part of the not just get to the journey as fast as possible. I love the journey, not just the destination. I just finished writing my own game engine using C++ and Vulkan, but now I'm stuck on ray tracing hell. You're stuck in ray tracing hell, trying to implement a hybrid renderer. Oh, good luck with that, man. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining us in stream. Yeah, it's something I haven't touched. I'm probably gonna avoid ray tracing myself, just because I want to try and do shadow mapping rather than ray tracing. But yeah, I wish you the best on getting past your issues. It is frustrating when you get stuck in like a rut and you kind of. It feels like I'm kind of in this at the moment. I don't quite know why this is breaking when it tries to delete the sphere object. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what's going on? You know, I'm gonna try and. I wonder if you can just explicitly destroy these. Like say shut down or something. I don't think you can. It's a lot of this has inheritance built into it, so it's typically the destructors that do everything. But let me just hop back to the Hello World program, which does apparently delete things properly. You know what I should do is, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to unroll this loop. And we're just going to go very simply from top to bottom from 0 to 4 entities. Hang on. How big's this? Hang on. This is... Yeah, I think this is 111. I think I know what I've done wrong. Yeah, entities 111. I actually need total colliders. Okay, I've made a big... Right, okay, I made a like stupid mistake here. I'm trying to delete physics bodies that don't exist. So that will cause an error. That will do it. Let's catch up. Let's close. Okay, so that was a mistake, but it's still not working. So, right. Let's see what people have said in the chat. In the future, can you try to create a horror multiplayer game? A horror multiplayer game? Maybe. I'm not the biggest fan of either genres, to be honest. So that's a big question mark on that one. Right, let's go to this for a minute. Can I do this like I said? The question is, can I delete the first one? Why not try both ray tracing and shadow maps? Will be fine to fight against. No, it's I feel like ray tracing has some splendid reflections. You're not wrong. I will start, I think, with shadow mapping, and then slowly move up. The reason that I want to say that I don't want to do ray tracing immediately is because I'm trying to think of like what's the minimum amount of things that I have to write to make a game engine. Sorry, a game that people want to play. And yeah, I could do both. There's no reason. I just think I'll make the decision once I've done the shadow mapping kind of thing. And no, they won't fight each other because what you do is you basically, if you want ray tracing support for like a particular PC or whatever, all you have to do is say, okay, they're doing ray tracing. Don't worry about it. You know, if they've got ray tracing support, don't worry about the shadow map. So, right, okay, so let's debug this a minute. Okay, yep, that's my array. So apparently it dies here because let's make sure these aren't null or something like that. No, it's definitely, and there definitely is a body there. I think if I press F10, we get, so this will be doing it threaded, I think. So, but I think we're okay at the moment. Yeah, we're in the main thread. We're fine. Sometimes it could be, I could be outside the main thread and causing like some weird issues that might look bad that actually aren't bad. Motion I wonder if I need to set the motion properties. I don't know. There you go. What kind of game would you like to develop? I have a couple of ideas. This one is going to be like a little space game. It's going to be very, very basic. It's going to be hopefully not crap like Superman 64, but it's not going to blow any minds. It's not going to win any Game of the Year awards. I want to make smaller games that I can publish and slowly improve, making bigger games over time by adding the tools that I need to make games. I have a bunch of other ideas, but I'll keep them to myself for now, and I'll let you play them when they come out. The thing is, I want to make a bunch of demos. Look what I can get working on Apple and Android. So maybe I can get some porting work. Doubt it. Gigs, I mean. Oh yeah, like you want to hire someone temporarily, or do you want to become the person who does the porting? Yeah, that's. I mean, either one's fine. I think. I think you can do either. You can hire someone. If you're using Vulkan, just be aware that Vulkan support is not ubiquitous like it is on desktop computers. Like the version the version as well is different on phones. Like so if you're using like a newer feature, you might have to be a bit more strict on fallbacks, depending on how many Android devices you want to support and how back in time you want to go. I wouldn't worry about it if you're just making demos though. I think it's just like get something working on your phones. Excuse me, is totally chill. Oh, you want to be hired, right? Yeah. Yeah, just well, it's a tough market out there at the moment. That's all I can say. It's I'm also trying to be hired as well. That's why I'm streaming at 2 p.m. But yeah, I wish you the best on that, man. Right. Okay, so F11. If motion properties is okay, so it is null, so it is allowed. Okay, what? 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 Okay, so the second object doesn't work. Shapes fit. Is it because I've used the same object over and over again? Hang on, let me, I set the shape multiple times thinking that, oh, I just need to set the radius. But that might be a mistake. So we're just going to lazily recreate these. 2, 3. I'll figure out like a better way of doing this. Don't get me wrong. So let's order these from big sphere to small sphere. So 1 and 0 are 1 and 0 are the static, and 2 and 3 are the dynamic objects. Let's do that again then. Okay, so so I'm trying to get hired. Yes, to some degree. It would be nice to be working on but anything graphics really. It's not like a. Oh, hang on. What are you doing, dude? Let's try that again. It's not like I'm dire straits. If that makes sense. You know, if I don't end up getting hired, I'll just try and make it. Which is probably harder than trying to get a job, so we'll see how that goes. That breaks now. Okay, interesting. What? Did I make a mistake again? Hang on. So we have the same sphere settings, but we have 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Okay, I'll have a different sphere setting for each type. Just to see. It's something to do with object lifetime, I think. This particular bug. I'll fix the music in a minute. 1 and 2 and 3. Whoops. There we go. And 3. And we are 1, 2, 3. The reason I'm debugging stuff on close is because we made so much progress today and yesterday that so none of these objects have anything similar to each other, and I just want to make sure that I'm not shutting down the. Yeah, I should be shutting down the rest of them. So that it's definitely shut down afterwards. So I want to shut them down here though. Let me think. Entity data and debug renderer. Okay. But I can't just do that because I need to, if I'm going to shut down the models here. No, I think I'll leave the models. Okay, so hang on. I'm already shutting down the models. Let's move this out. Let's do this in this order. I thought I was shutting down the model somewhere else. That might be an issue. Hang on. Okay, so we have. If we go into graphics, we have the GLTF loader. This shuts down what? 2 o'clock. Does that mean you're in Australia/New Zealand thereabouts? No, in fact, I'm the other side of the planet. So it's not 2 a.m. It's so that's probably Australian. You probably saw. It's I'm in the UK. So yes, they're probably at 2 a.m. If I would guess. I don't exactly know which time zone that would be. Because I know Australia's got 3 time zones, I think. And I think New Zealand's in its own time zone. I don't know. But yeah, the UK. Right. I am shutting down the models. Okay, that's fine. I'm adding everything to a queue. I'm doing deleting the rest of the stuff, the individual models. Then I delete the array itself. Give me a minute. Oops. Where's the shutdown? Don't peek, just go. Look at his accent, British. Yeah. I don't know how strong my accent is. I don't know how much of a giveaway. Maybe I can blend in to other countries. It might be quite plain. I don't know what the word would be. Okay, so shutdown models. Okay, but what's in this array? Sorry, what's in the struct, I meant to say. So when we shut down, we should have shut down everything. Are we relying on any of these? Images, samplers, vertices, and the mesh draw data, which is materials. And the dummy sampler, which should be shut down here, if it exists. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, sorry. It is. Looking at the clock now, I started streaming at 2 p.m. and it's now an hour and a half later. Admittedly, yes. I thought the UK would be. Yeah. Sorry to confuse you. Your accent is half American, half British. In general, I cannot understand a full British accent. Oh, okay. I do. My accent is a little bit Scouse if you were to talk to me in real life, but I find just to make myself, I do enunciate a bit more when I'm on the microphone. I found that when I've recorded myself, like making videos and stuff, that I ended up mumbling so much that it was hard for me to understand. So that's why. Yeah. Oh yeah, Adele. Yeah, she's that's a London accent. Okay. Did that change anything? It did? It did. Okay, if I get a crash now, I'm super confused. Right. Right, okay. We shut down the models, we shut down the entities, we shut down the rendering data. So now we shouldn't have any arrays. Okay, I fixed that issue, apparently. Success. And I'll have to remake that loop. That's okay, so a big one here is, did I shut down every single graphics object? No. I have actually deleted too much. That means I've double deleted. And for a descriptor set, maybe. Let's just make sure that I haven't deleted one of these. I've been told my accent is understandable, but certainly Northern European. Nice. Yeah, those accents are pretty cool, I must admit. So we have a descriptor set here, and position debug. I took the academic IELTS exam and scored 7 out of 9. I cannot understand the word she said. Interesting. Yeah, that's the English exam, right? I assume. back in the day when I was learning Japanese, there was a bunch of Japanese people who were trying to learn that, so I kind of got sort of familiar with that foreign language exam. I don't know what's on it. But yeah, I've heard it's tough if you get, you know. Sorry, I'm a bit quiet here. I'm just trying to figure out. I've heard it's tough. That's all. I should just say that. Okay, so we have. Oh yeah, I need to fix the music. Where's the music? There it is. There we go. Okay. Get locked in for too long and you forget about the music. Right. Okay, so let's see the error again and where it is. Oh yeah. Let's unroll this loop. Sorry, unroll this loop. Double negative. Right. Okay. So delete this. Oops. And hopefully this doesn't break after I've done this, because it could be a threading issue if it's if it can't delete it properly. But I don't understand why moving the models. It's not like it's relying on the model data. Okay, good. Let's just check. So it can't destroy a descriptor set. Access resource. What is this resource? This should be. It should have something in here. Layout. What layout is it part of? VK bindings. It's a combined sampler. It's a combined image sampler, which is good to know. Has it got a name? My combined image sampler. Oh, you're aiming for the GLPTN5 this November. Yeah, good luck with that, man. I hope you crush it. I have a B2 in, okay, that language exam I'm not familiar with, from 2012, which means I could fare in a meeting and talk somewhat naturally with a native. Nice. Is that for English? Is that like the IELTS exam? My accent is perfect. If you're referring to me, thank you. Yeah, streamer has a present accent. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I did very, yeah, it's very pleasant. Thank you. So we have a destroy descriptor set instance with a descriptor set handle of 0, and that returns a descriptor set that seems to be part of the. It seems to be an image sampler, which makes me think I might be trying to free the. Okay, so this is a big giveaway. Set index is 1, binding is 1. This is the 100% bindless renderer. Sorry, the bindless texture descriptor set. I don't know why. I'm likely trying to shut it down twice. Now I know which one it is. I've got to find why it's deleting itself twice. So EF version of the European. Got ya. Proficiency test. Brilliant. Top stuff. So the next question was, okay, so moving this to the top somehow allowed things to be deleted properly because there was a dependency in this array. I didn't see the dependency. But anyway, I'm super confused by that. I mean, it works, but is it going to work in the future? Okay, so the next thing I want to check is can we just reuse the same shape over and over again? So this is okay. So I'm checking this so I can actually, because I want to reduce, if I can, I would like to reduce the size of the struct that all this data lives in for memory footprint issues and not having to access RAM as much. So question mark on this particular issue. Do we need a new shape every single time? Okay, so this call stack just to make sure. Okay, so it's destroying the same descriptor set, so it looks fine. And do I need to have the same? Can I get away with? I wonder if I can just grab all this faster. So if I grab all this and paste it over, that'll be faster than trying to edit it, I think. The only diffing tool, well, the only Visual Studio thing that helps with Git, I've never liked Git Visual Studio. Okay, so let's see. No, okay, so that was a fix. Okay, so the settings need to be. So that, okay, that is good to know. But the shape's fine? That's the confusing part. Oh, I'm an idiot, I just realized. Okay, I didn't actually change anything then. Because I didn't. Oh, no, I did. Okay, yeah, everything's to the shape. Okay. So it looks like everything needs its own setting. Object. And I just realized I don't have the rotation set. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure if that's an issue, but for spheres anyway, spheres have the same rotation at all angles. Let's set that up. Eventually I want to make this so it's more generics for any type of geometry. So JPH rotation. How do I do quaternion? S quaternion? Identity? S identity. That's what I remember. Okay, so I remember there's an S somewhere, but that means for static. So we throw this in here. I mean, it's not that big of an issue, but I'll just put up with the compilation issues for now. While I throw these in. And no, won't be with position, thank you. And then I'll just paste these in one at a time. 2, oops, not 3, 2. And number 3. Fantastico. Okay, not much of a big deal, but yeah, needs to be added. It's possible from work. Where do you? Sorry, I'll start again. It's probable from work. Where we do a lot of SQL, but I like having relations and compositions over big types. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's yeah, you probably get this from work. You rather have relationships over composition. For me, I'm trying to loosely follow the data-oriented design idea when it comes to programming. So I'm having a lot of structure of arrays, so I can loop through the arrays independently and have the relationship between them. For example, if I know that an object is solid or not, I don't have to have an is solid, is not solid variable. I can just have an array of solid objects and non-solid objects, and that data is stored in the fact that there are two different arrays. So the justification for that is to try and reduce the amount of times that I touch RAM to reduce CPU overhead, which is often overlooked, in my opinion, when it comes to programmers. An overlooked aspect of performance, like not being aware of what the CPU is actually doing and then making mistakes, well, performance mistakes, I guess, based on that. Hence the fact that I'm shutting down and initializing arrays explicitly. That's like part of it. Like I don't use the standard template library in C++. This is just so I can have control over the allocation myself. and have different allocators based on my needs. For example, I don't want to have in a for loop, when I'm loading a lot of vertices, I use a different allocator than I would for, I don't know, storing the list of textures, for example. That would be a different, because that needs to be a different allocator. So I'm like concerned with memory access as well. So that's why I'm making some of the decisions I am in this code, at least. Right. So we are deleting the. Why am I? What is deleting the? Hang on. The. What is it called? The binary descriptor set. So this is the thing that's not working. Now I'm kind of curious if I take this out of here. Nothing stops you from using custom allocators with SD vector. Yes, it's not that. It's the explicit initialization and destruction that I lose with vector. So I do that in tandem with like an init function and a destroy function. And yes, you could just be hyper aware of all the machinations of object lifetime and worry about arrays and stuff. But I can also just like write it myself and do what I want. I massively increased performance at work last week by moving an SQL query 4 lines. There you go. Yeah, that might be that's a lesson in performance gain, 100%. Well done. Yeah. So for example, yeah. So what I can do with my arrays, I'm not saying I have it's better or anything like that. I'm not saying like my allocation method is invalid buffer. So that is doing something. Okay. I'm not saying like my stuff is better than standard template. It's actually worse for a lot of use cases. But for what I'm using it for, it's completely appropriate. And I won't criticize anyone who uses standard template as well. There's nothing wrong with it, really. I just want to initialize arrays ahead of time, and then and then add into them so I don't end up like allocating inside for loops or something like that. It's and you may say like, oh, have you tested the performance? It's like, admittedly no, but I've been using this for a while and it's fine. It's not like it's not like I'm craving STL vector standard vector features or anything like that. Reinventing Unreal's T array from first principles. I don't even know Unreal's, but basically I have. But you can see that in the foundation stuff, like array. I won't go into it too much, but it's not that complicated. That's assert. Sorry, it's really basic. Like this wouldn't fly if I was giving this engine out to people on the internet to use. It just, yeah, it's just what it's just what I enjoy doing, writing this myself. And there's nothing, it's like I've written this inspired by someone else, by the way. It's heavily inspired from the Raptor engine. I've just modified it quite heavily to do what I want to do instead. Like I don't allow you to hash strings in a hash map. I just say like, yeah, bro, just hash them before you put them in as a key. And people would be like, what? Why? That's dumb. It's stupid. I would. Why would you remove that feature? It's like It's because I don't rely on strings in the engine. But again, this is all for like what I want to do rather than what's air quotes most usable or anything like that. Isn't STL Windows only? It stands for Standard Template Library, and in C++ it's in case I'll use it. No. So it's if you're writing C++ code and you include I don't know, data structures, that's probably the right word. That's the right word. You know, if you go to like tutorials and you'll see, oh yeah, that use vector and use, which is just an array, a dynamic array if you want to know. Use array, which is a static array. These all come from the standard template, which I think is defined in the, is it in the runtime library? Anyway, wherever it's defined, it's cross-platform. It's highly templated. It's been tested on platforms from compilers across from all. It's there's lots of smart people working on it, smarter than me, 100%. It's just for me, I need to figure out. I'm just using an alternative, which some game developers do. It's not all. I think EA has EA SDL, which is like an EA version. I think it's open source actually, and often they're concerned more with the advantage of using a non-standard template algorithm or data structure is the fact that you'll not always. This is heavy caveats. For a very specific case, you might be able to squeak out more performance and do things the way you want to do them. But you can end up making things slower. That is 100% possible. Why? Yeah, we've rolled over. I think that's the biggest. Yeah, that's the biggest number. It's like I've deleted too many descriptor sets or something. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Seemingly people call it. Yeah, STD. Don't question it. Yeah, you'll get a ban if you. Yeah. Yeah. No. I sometimes get my phrases mixed up. I like to call it standard table array because it's just the acronym of SDL, you know. I even know SDL is something else, but yeah. It's technically STUD or STD. Yeah, that I'm probably being like I'm getting my phrases mixed up here. Anyway, I'm not trying to get banned, okay? Yeah. Everyone must agree with me and no one must criticize me. I rule with an iron fist. Okay. Yeah, we all know streamers have sensitive egos, so. Right. I'm already arguing hard with him at the moment, yeah. You're on thin ice, Ratchet. My ego is hurt, which is the worst thing of all time. Anyway, where is this thing I'm deleting? Skybox. Maybe I'm deleting something that doesn't exist, and that's like causing an issue. Oh, you know what I'm not deleting? I'm not deleting a pipeline. I just realized. Debug pipeline, yeah. Alright, so that's a mistake, which would call that would be caught later on. Let's make sure I'm actually deleting everything that I've created. Buffer creation. I don't think I'm deleting this buffer. Yep. Okay, I'm not deleting that either. That's just going to cause an error later. GPU.destroy buffer. If I wanted to argue, I had something. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm just messing about mostly. No, yeah. Like I said earlier, I don't know if people were listening, but yeah, I'm actually very open to be criticised. With stuff because I won't improve if I don't get crit. Well, it's not like I accept all criticism. But if I ignore all criticism, which is probably more accurate, I'll stop improving, which will be tragic, in my opinion. Am I deleting these thingies? Skybox. Okay, yeah, so I'm deleting these, which is correct. I'm deleting that position thing. Is there anything else I need to do? The best target language officially supported by CMake isn't C++, it's Swift. Huh. Swift is better off Apple than on. I've literally no idea about Apple. I have no opinion on that. I don't know. Absolutely don't know. Ah, okay. So what did we make a mistake here? Allocation was not unmapped. Ooh, okay, right. Okay, so that's a easy mistake to fix. So we are fixing mistakes. Nice. We are getting there. Yeah, so there was one time I got flamed on Reddit because my G buffer was just terribly bloated. Very good advice, but not very enjoyable. Yeah, I try not to be a dick about giving advice. I don't know if that's just Reddit, but there's no point in that. But yeah, it is good to get criticized. Yeah, if people do criticize me, I would prefer it. You be nice, but you know, we can't always have nice things. But you know, everyone's been nice so far. By the way, it's that's not a criticism on anyone who in the past or present right now. Right, put that in there. On map, okay. So, like this unmapping mapping stuff, I think it's been criticized, which is completely chill. I just haven't got around to fixing it. Oh, why aren't you working? Oh, the map parameters. Not that. Sorry, I put the buffer in there. Pointer to a buffer. Like this, instead of manually mapping them, I could probably map them on allocation. I just need to put a priority on this and worry about my buffer allocations because I think Ratchet has pointed out a couple of times that it's not. I haven't done the best job, but there was a reason for doing this. There wasn't. It was the structs themselves kind of fell apart when I added like a pointer to a void star pointer to map data. But again, that might be the fact that I've done too many layers of indirection. Again, another criticism you could levy. Scene buffer. Swift is good, bro, especially after they got C++ iterators. Oh, iterators, yeah. Nice. Sorry, interrupt. Got ya. Nice. I just I don't have an Apple machine to debug Swift on. Or even begin. I've heard Metal is like a lot nicer than Vulkan because there's a smaller amount of hardware it has to work with. So I've heard good things about Metal. But again, I have no experience with it. I've heard stuff, right? Okay. Do I destroy this? All right, let's make sure I get rid of these. Okay, yep, I do. Okay, and you seen. Metal is alright. Swift is good on Windows too. Oh, okay. I didn't realize you could do both. It's such a long time since I've done that. But the best thing is the shading language. Ah, okay. C++ on GPU. That's not CUDA. Interesting. I was storing RGB F32 positions and normals or something really bad. Ah, okay, yeah, fair enough. You're storing everything in 32-bit, all on no compression. I see. Fair enough. I've heard a criticism of the. This is not like a big criticism of the fact that they use C++. It's just the compilation takes a long time. Again, my opinion on that is I don't know. Oh, come on, dude. What do I need to do next? I need to. Okay, so we delete everything there. Yeah, for metal shaders. Yeah. It was by it was in the What's in Vulkan 1.3, and it was Arseny Kapulkin's live stream. I think he said at some point, about 3 hours in, he talks about metal. And if you just so people don't know what am I saying, is some guy who streams on YouTube occasionally, and he is the lead graphics program, I think, at Roblox. So he knows his stuff, but and I think he's been working in games since the Xbox 360 era. I'm not saying it's valid or invalid. I'm just letting people know his opinion. By the way, I'm just letting you know who he is if you don't know. And yeah, his YouTube channel is just called Arseny Kapulkin. If you can type that in on YouTube, you'll find some good stuff. Got ya. Didn't realize. Time to make a GLS cell phone. Nice. Go for it, dude. What am I doing here? So we can get GLSL with classes. Ah, yes. Got ya. Yeah, he didn't dive into it when I heard it. I've only listened to it like 4 times, and it's like a very small part of the. Maybe longer actually. I've maybe listened to it 4 or 5 times. It's only a small part of the live stream, and it's a bit. I haven't listened to it in a while. But he just made an offhand comment about C++ compilers being more of a pain, effectively. Okay, where's my? Why is this? I just don't understand exactly why my bindless. I wonder if it's not. Hang on. I just had a thought. Maybe it's the IMGUI stuff. This always causes issues. This is kind of a pain to remove though, so it's going to take me a minute. So I'm just going to get rid of IMGUI for a minute. Ugh, get out the way. Hello. Mabdo88. Mabdo, hope you're having a good day. I am working on a little space game. I'm currently trying to fix some crash on close stuff, which I've neglected. We're making progress, but we're still stuck on a particular issue that's tripping me up. So I'm seeing if my debug IMGUI, which is a way to display menus and stuff like that, is causing issues. So I'm going to do that, and I'll show you if you want after I've commented out stuff and it's not breaking. what it looks like at the moment. It's not. You won't be blown away. But it's we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're able to see the collision detection, which is new, of spheres, which is nice. Okay, so I'm GUI. Let's just make sure we've commented everything out. Okay. Okay. Are you using an ECS architecture? I'm using a very small version of that. Sorry, a very simple version. I'm using entity components without systems. And that is because I'm trying to do I'm GUI stuff. I'm trying to handle events. I don't think I've turned them off. On event handle. Okay, yeah, that needs to turn it off. That's just as simple as that. And I have a friend who memes a lot on slang. So you won't be blown away by this, but here we are. I've literally just got the debug renderer rendering collision detection at the moment, so which is very nice. DRM GUI, please work. Yes, exactly. I'm working on a game as well, but fairly new. I see. Wish you luck on that, man. It's a fun but difficult task, for sure. Okay, so let's okay, that didn't do anything. Okay, IMGUI is fine, so that's one thing ruled out. Okay, so I've turned on the Japanese keyboard. Right, Control Z. Not that far back. Okay, yep, that's what I needed. Maybe that's why it's called Dear I Am GUI. Yeah, has nothing to do with Unity. I mean, it's great. It's just sometimes I've had people who have been in the live streams in the past have probably remember me coming into contact with binary rendering being an absolute pain in the neck when it came to IMGUI because I expose the back end and try and do something with it. Right. What can I do? I need to think like of things to. Why would that particular handle be causing issues? I mean, I can't just comment this out and just say, "Oh, we'll see if it works without it." It's like the deletion handle is like. Okay, when it breaks, I'm going to check the actual queue, what's in the queue. That's a good idea. Right. Okay, so they're really... Okay. We're here. We're in shutdown. Okay. How big is this queue left? So, 52. We have... delete data in it. Current frame. Why am I using limits? Isn't this Windows? Yeah, let's sorry, I'm completely distracted, but I usually use 32 max. I don't know why I put that in there, which is standard int. Yeah, I don't know what limits is. I think that might be Windows. I don't know. I can't quite know. I no idea. Just makes it less cross platform. I don't know. That's always worked as well. I don't know. Anyway, so I closed it. Yet another shading language. Oh, sorry. Maybe it's got, yeah. And yet it's another shading language. I've taken the VCC pill. I'm sorry. VCC pill. Is it? Oh. For uninitiated VCC's Vulkan Clang compiler. Right, got you. Is that? Am I tired? No, I'm good actually. I'm just Oh, I didn't even check. Sorry, I need to get that thing back. Is the deletion causing iteration invalidation? So we have an array and we remove elements from that array as we go. The error happens when the index, when I want to zero out a resource. Oh yeah, this is actually, yeah, can I keep talking because this is actually kind of useful. So there's a resource here, and let's just say I allocate 70 things. We end up with a, like when it reaches 0, that we shouldn't go any further. If you minus one more, then you end up with this value. And obviously this is the biggest 32 bits size, and we don't have an array element that big. Actually, what do we have in here? That's another question we could ask. Do we have anything in here at all? 3 indices. 1. Is this a resource? What is this? Okay, it's just a raw pointer. The problem is that maybe I should have not left this to the last minute to debug. So yeah, it's basically what the engine seems to be doing is it's like deleting too much. It's like it's deleting from my investigation anyway, it's deleting a bindless descriptor set which does the textures. So this thing, it's saying this twice, and I don't understand why. This gets added to a queue. I've commented it out, and we get a different error because it's supposed to be deleted. You know what I should look for is, maybe I'm deleting this somewhere else by accident. Or I wonder if I know it seems silly, but is this the first thing that gets deleted? No. Now, if I was deleting twice, this would cause an error first, I think. But it could be the order. Okay, maybe it's delete. Let me look at the order. Are you using this array somewhere else? Yes, it's storing every resource that exists. So all these. So when I make a buffer that's also added to that array, and then we slowly decrement that index value. Because I've said that, yes, I'm going to go back to what I was my original hypothesis. I've got to be deleting something twice, because this all gets added to a queue, right? And it's trying to delete the last thing in the queue, which is this, right? Where is it? Where's the delete? Oh, no, okay, there's other stuff. Dang, I thought I had it. Maybe it's just like I've deleted too many descriptor sets. Sorry, it's possible as well I'm deleting a descriptor set that was never allocated. Let me keep debugging this. I feel like I'm close because it's something like this. I'm doing something wrong. Let's just make sure I'm not. This actually is allocated. Descriptor set layout. Yep. There's the descriptor set creation. Whoops. It is useful to ask me questions, by the way. That does help. Even if I don't provide enough information for you to actually answer. That helps me think through the problem better. So this array, yeah, this array is used for all this stuff, but I think it might be... Give me a minute. I wonder if this might be a bit of a memory lapse here. If I go to here, no, that's not it. We have the descriptor sets. Where are they? Where are these resources? I can just do... I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom to see the... Yes, this is what I'm interested in, the descriptor set one. Where are you? What are you? You're a resource pool. So effectively the resource pool for this particular... Or pool, as I should be saying. If I'm trying to fake being a scouse. Is this is the allocated size and the pointer that we end up using. So every time we obtain a resource, when we add a resource to it, so it's dying here when we release a resource, when we remove the head or whatever. It's possible that I'm not accessing the resources properly, and then I'm not incrementing that value or something. Let me try the hypothesis by deleting, removing some of the drawing code. So all right, so that's the... Nope. Okay. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start removing stuff and see when it starts fixing itself. And then we'll be able to know exactly what's been added and when. I don't think anything in the loop. Yep. Okay, nope, still an issue. And the air quotes skybox, which doesn't even work. So what I'm going to do is, yes, you can do that. Yeah, you can just clear the background. And I should be doing a delete swap, if anything. Okay, so that's not black. Okay, anyway, so what I'm going to do now is just skip the whole loop together, change it to true. And if we still get the error, then it's not to do with the loop. This does work, I've just done it wrong, if that makes sense. Okay, so the texture was never created. To be destroyed. And which texture was that? It was the one inside GPU shutdown. Yes, but what texture? That's misleading, that texture. Texture 3. Right, I'm just going to comment out a lot of stuff then. We're definitely going to get there. Let's see. Okay. Right. So my question is, if I change this back and I minimize, yeah, it's allocation. It's not. I'm popping stuff off the off the queue as I go. It's not like it's not like I'm randomly accessing things, so it's the last thing. I could be wrong though. Oh yeah, minimize, that's what I wanted to do. Minimize, close? No. Okay, so we don't get that error that we just saw then. So that means this technically can be all commented out and everything works. Oh, there's something not. Oh, I forgot about that we're not presenting anything. And obviously the swap chain is not going to be happy with what we're doing. Okay, that's weird. Ah, right, I think I know what it is. I think it's to do with IMGUI. Let's get rid of stuff again. Hi D2 Codes, how you doing? Yeah, not bad. It's just a bit warm, admittedly. It's getting a bit hot. Yep. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, the usuals in the chat. Let's see. We will crack this. We will crack this. Right. Yes. Process events. Yes. Get rid of this. And cool. Okay. So that's what I wanted to see. See unclip. Because if I comment out everything, it's not. I don't understand. Wait, go back to main. Okay, let's just be super aggressive. Oh, hang on. Am I trying to delete stuff that's not allocated? No, that's just been used. No. No. Skybox. Sampler. Nope. Like, I'm trying to figure out. Stuff gets used, but it's... Oh, on mapping. No, we are mapping. SDL, my love. Yeah, SDL's sick. I was a GLFW guy for a while, but yeah, it's SDL's lovely. The only thing it can't do, which I don't know how to fix, is on Linux I can't hide the mouse cursor. I just don't. I've tried a couple of different things, and on Linux the mouse cursor apparently can't be hidden because of security reasons, which is very annoying. But you can do that because it's not like all games that you've ever played always have the mouse visible on Linux. I just don't know how to fix it, because hide cursor just does not seem to do what it does on Windows. I don't know what that's about. Wayland. Yeah, I'm just pausing the device just before destroy everything. That's on close though. It's not like I'm doing it every frame. Although, do I do it every frame or do I device? Yeah, I idle the queue, which isn't good. But I've had struggles with SDL. Sorry, with frame synchronizations. Sorry. I wrote a big comment here. I'll have to read it out loud if you want me to dive into that. No, it's good. It's good. Yeah. Like I said, I've been saying this multiple times, but yeah, if you do see something in my code that's like, what the hell, you know, do comment on it, because it might help. Hang on. I'm not deleting this, am I? Am I doing something stupid? No. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna get rid of everything. Okay, we will find this. What, by hook or by crook? So I'm gonna ignore this error for a minute. I'm just gonna start commenting out everything. True. Okay, so get rid of the mapping first. Then the... Yeah, we'll get rid of everything up to here. And that means we need to get rid of these. And whatever's left. Okay, yeah, get rid of these. Doesn't matter. Alright, so there's absolutely... It's a close and open. Because I wonder if the... I wonder if it's to do... This particular error is to do with the skybox code. So all descriptor sets, physics, everything up to here I want to get rid of. Yep. Oops, there is more not to delete. Okay, so that tells me the order of things at least, so I can bring this up. And these are, I think that's an order that I want to use. Okay, and now we can comment them out. Oops. Okay, oh, this is my favorite Spyro song. Allocating memory in C++ shared pointers or vectors and using it too. All my homies hate swap chain management. Yeah, dude. Yes, frame synchronization is absolutely. Ugh. There's probably a better way of doing it than I've done it. That's there is that, but for some God no reason I could not. I think it was Linux or something. Like Linux just did not want me to do what I wanted to do. I can't remember. This was a while ago. This was even before I started streaming again. And before I made that video. The latest video about the 1,200 hours of programming. So, yeah. I know it seems extreme, but I'm absolutely ready to comment out literally everything and then add them back in one thing at a time. Oops. Yep, no, that's actually relevant. Yeah, resizing. Okay, so that's a simple error to fix. I've initialized. Okay, so we are going to step through this bit by bit and figure out these errors. And oh yeah, I'm trying to destroy memory. That hasn't been destroyed. So that should open and close without any issue. Cool. All right, next. The heap allocators and memory and window. No, these are nothing. That's just grabbing stuff. Input handler has not been created yet. I'll throw that in. I doubt that'll be an issue. And okay, right, do that. I can't resize and draw. Yeah, well, I can't do that either. I just I can resize, but flipping heck. Everything else. Okay. So device creation and the setup. So this is where the things might start breaking again, but that's fine. I'm ready for it. I mean, you can resize the window, but you can't. It doesn't draw while you're doing it. And also, yeah, you have to protect on. Okay, you have to protect on Windows. Sorry, on Linux, going to 0, 0. zero height, because you can get stuck there you lose the device because the swap chain falls apart and you can't make the window big again, so you just have like a bar at the top. No, I don't use resource is initialization in my code. I set up and delete things explicitly, which has its drawbacks, which you're watching right now. So what is... So let's make the VK image creation have its name, and then we'll be able to see what's missing. Because I might be literally just missing something from here, which I doubt it, but this is a tough debugging session, I have to admit. Although I can't complain too much. I've had a lot of success just before I streamed. The reason I'm even doing this is because of that. Okay, so VK image. Let's see where we create the for a texture. This will definitely be the bindless stuff, because it's the only thing we create for that. So when we create the bindless, which is that's creating a descriptor set. Yeah. Okay. So when we take in a texture, do we have a name? Yes. And I've been told that there is a name thing that you can use. When using an SDL app callback, SDL can interrupt the resize wind event, blocking it. But yeah, synchronization is hard. That's likely what ended up happening. And I was just like, alright, let's just pause the queue then. Yeah, I also don't understand why people want to do smooth resizing. But it is what it is. I just pause everything when you do that. Alright, I'm just going to scroll up and chat for a second. Right, VK. Sorry, I'm just looking at things off screen. What if I can control F? I actually don't know. Whoops. Set. Yes. Okay, so VK set utils name. What the heck's that? Because this is getting... So VK, I'm just going to Google something. Set debug utils object name extension. Gives an object an application defined name to an object. So the device associated with that. So you need the device, and I think I have this extension just to check. This is just to help with debugging. Yep. Well, my question is, how do you set the name of the object? That's the question. Valid usage. name info. So you set the name of p. Oh, I see. You use this struct. Debug utils object name info. Da, da, da. So you pass that in. And then you. Right. Let's do that for that. The reason I want to do this is for the VK image view. Is it image view? Yeah. Right, create info. So when we do this, we can do something, right? Object can we, okay. Is it before or after? I'm assuming it's after. And does it have an error? Yes, so we can check it. And we need to create a, yeah, we need a device and this, note this, right? Name info, name info, I think, is it an info struct? Yes. Assuming it has an S type, yep, all right. VK struct type debug. Right, if someone's screaming at me in chat just because I'm using it wrong, just give me a minute. Okay. I wish Teams had better resizing support. I wish Teams did not exist. Damn, yep. I have to, you know what? Facts, that's facts, bro. Okay, so this struct needs what? So object type. I assume it doesn't need a P next. So the object must not be null, sure. There's a valid handle to an instance level object. VK device is defined, sure. Alright, so the object handle is the important thing. So it can't be null. I don't know what object type is. I assume object name is something I say. Like fart. Farticus. Right, so name info, we have. So object handle needs to be this. How do I get the object handle of? So this is a handle, and this is an object. This is the output. So if I take that, obviously this is not going to work just for a minute, but the VK image view. How do I get the handle? Any updates? What's the news about a job interview? Still waiting to hear back on stuff. Miss ILC. Yeah, I missed out on ILC. I mean, it's still around, but no one uses it anymore. I have, yeah, you're right there, Dietrich. I have a set debug name function because writing 7,000 times would make me, yeah, fair enough. It also gets the object type automatically. Nice. Yeah, I just need to figure out how to get the the individual bot. I just want it for the object views because we're kind of getting stuck on that at the moment. Right, am I tripping? How? Oops. How? I'm gonna say how do you get Vulkan object handles? All right. I wish I had this. Right, so execution model, sure. Object model, yep. Object lifetime. So right, we need the device, obviously. Let's do that first. So Vulkan device. And just so I'm not going insane. Right, obviously the next thing I want to do is the name itself, which I think we can get from this is a swap chain image. I do underscore. I don't know if how well it handles things. The handle though is the tricky part. And I think I need the type as well, which it's not the tricky part, I just don't know how to do it. Object type dot right, so let's Google this. There's probably an easy way to do this. Yep. All right, let's look at this. Oh, okay. I can just set it. All right. I'm sure there's a smarter way of doing this, but object type, and we need to get the next step, which is okay. I will. I won't defer to your code then, Wretched. The object is the named object. Is it just a pointer? Is that all? Like, is that all it is? Am I just being dumb? Like, do I just need to treat this like that? Or how do I get the pointer out of this? This is an array. Ah, templates. Fair enough. I don't mind templates, to be honest. I mean, it's just heavy use of templates just makes me scratch my head and go, why? So this is just a... Yeah. Bro, just give me the handle. Give me the handle, man. It's not a pointer already. Oh, no. What? Okay, the image type cannot be assigned to uint. How do I get... Yeah, bro, but isn't this just a handle anyway? Okay, this is just... What is this? Interesting. Is that... Okay, you can just bitcast it. Seems a bit mad that they offered an interface that you can't really use. I will use standard template for this because I just don't care that much about this particular type of... Thanks for looking that up, by the way, if you did. Thank you, that was nice. Appreciate that help. least gets me past the silly billiness that we currently are on. Okay, so if I run that, renamed function. Oh, it's unresolved. Oh, I've got to. All right. I've got to link it in, which will take me a second to find where I'm doing that in the code, and then just copy the pattern. But it's up here somewhere. Okay, so proc address. Yep. Where's the rest of them? There's more that I'm doing somewhere. Is that the only one? Oh yeah, because the other ones I did, like submit version 2. Okay. Right, we'll just put that there for a second. And as text. And we'll get everything else as well. We'll just kind of copy this over, rename everything, and grab this. Get rid of this, and the actual thing I care about is not. I'm just doing the same thing twice here, so we need to do this. So it's definitely this part of this extension. So, is this used anywhere else? No. No, we just need to set it to the actual name. So that now can be used, hopefully. Whoops. That's local though, to this one spot. What is this? Is this just a pointer? Yeah, I don't really. No, I don't use Vulk. Sorry, let me catch up. I wrote an intrusive pointer and accompanying CRCT, yeah, that thing. Base class the other day. I'm proud of it. Nice work, dude. I love templates and concepts. Yeah, honestly, Tom, with concepts, the fact that you don't really have to do esfinay anymore is so much nicer. So yeah, totally. That loads Vulkan for you. Vulkan, Vulk loads Vulkan loader function. Yes, it does. It's like I thought it was more or less the same thing. Oops, I see. Vulk also gives CPU performance boost. Does it? Since you don't have to go through the loader trampoline. What? Wait, what? Wait, doesn't Vulk just do the same thing as what I'm doing here? So what I'm going to do is just make this part of the class. I've seen the code, and I thought, well, okay, it's cool, obviously, but because it's generated from the actual Vulkan standard. That's what's really cool about it. But I thought the fact. Oh, where am I? GPU. I thought this is no different from what I'm doing. Like this, because that's what the code looked like to me. Right, so we should hopefully now get the. Oh, that's where it should go. Whatever. Bro, I'm an idiot. I've already said it. I just call it something else. Why did I call it that? Oh, I'm having a brain aneurysm, I swear. I want to just overwrite that name. Yes, thank you. Thanks for the link and the resources. I do have that open, so I can look at it. But I didn't know it speeded up CPU performance. I mean, if it gets to see it, if it makes things faster, then I'm all for it. But you know, right, we have a redefinition if I leave that there, and we are close to getting this working the way I want. Maybe not. Oh my goodness. Right. Go through everything. Oh, you can't do that the way I want. Eh. Okay, fine. So that was a bit of a... Right, I'm going to write notes on this, I think, tomorrow. I mean, after the stream. Because I'm clearly making silly mistakes here that don't need to be repeated if I just don't make the mistakes again. Right, okay, so... okay. What is this used for, then? Set resource name. Oh, right. It's gonna lose it then. Lose it. And what did we get? Okay, so we didn't get. It's a different. We got VK image view. Okay, where else are these created? Okay, now we can actually return to what we were doing. And this is info, which gets created here. And I'm going to take the code that I did earlier. Nope. What was it? VK image. VK. Oops. VK create image. I thought the oh okay, I was like, what the heck? Create info. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Actually, it's exactly the one I wanted. Put that there. It's the VK image, and we're going to name it to the thing we passed in. Where is it? There it is. This. All right. Next. And VK image. Really? We haven't found it yet? If VK is not null, then in what? Destroy texture. Okay. Right, I think I'm going to leave it here, gang. My throat's getting a bit sore, so I think I've been talking so much. So I hope everyone's had a great stream. I will try and fix these errors outside of what we're doing. I will quickly, but I keep forgetting to do this. Let me, before I leave, if you do want to join the Discord server, that's my personal Discord server that you can join. You can all have your conversations there if you want. If you want to, so I'll try and get this all sorted so we can crack on with something else tomorrow. Yeah, thanks for turning up, guys, and thanks for anyone who's watching. Thanks for anyone who commented. Thanks for anyone who's keeping me company in these developments. You know, I appreciate everyone. You know, you're all awesome. Yeah, thank you guys. Honestly, I should be thanking you honestly more than anything. Yeah. So have a good rest of the day, gang, and whatever you get up to, and I'll hopefully see you soon. So yeah. See you guys later. Bye.